What's up, guys? Just got off of work. I'm out here at this private property to be a hunt and grabbing a trail camera I put up recently in that last video you guys saw about tips on hanging trail cameras. Well, today I'm gonna go ahead and go over a little bit more in-depth tip video on trail cameras, not just necessarily hanging the trail cameras, but just the trail camera use in general. So first, I just want to talk about ATV use. You know, whether it be a four-wheeler, or side-by-side, or even a truck. You know, using that to drive in, hang a camera, or driving to check the camera. A lot of people think that it doesn't spook the deer, that it's less impact on the deer than just you walking in. And in some cases it can be, in other cases it can actually be a lot worse. And I'll give you a case on how it could be a lot worse. Basically, so if you come in on a loud four-wheeler and you come flying through your property on this loud four-wheeler, you're going to spook deer. And a lot of people will say it, they'll think that they're not spooking deer. That's most likely because those deer are already way off your property onto your neighbor's property, and you never see them ran away because they heard you coming a mile away and they took off before you were close. But in a way that it could be good is, one, well, if you have a quiet side-by-side and you can sneak in and out, you're not coming through night with your headlights on, you come in the middle of the day and you're real quiet about it, you're not driving anywhere near bedding areas, you can probably sneak in and check cameras and get out like that, and you're not leaving ground scent, which is the big plus of using an ATV or a truck, is you're not leaving your ground scent in and out. But you also don't want to spook the deer coming in on a loud vehicle or having the deer see something they're not used to and spooking them off. Another good way that could work is, say you're hunting a farmer's property or whatever it be, and say that farmer routinely drives a truck or his truck or a vehicle side-by-side, whatever it be, in that general area for his farming duties. And if you have a camera right in there where you can drive right up to a camera, jump out, check it or hang it, and then drive off, that could be a good case scenario too. And a lot of people talk about having somebody driving in on a big field that you hunted to bump all the deer off that field with the truck, rather than them getting down and walking out and bumping the deer themselves. Okay, yeah, it's probably better to have a truck come in and spook them off rather than an actual human being walking out. That's true, but it's still not good. You're still spooking deer off that field. You really need to focus in on finding a way to get out of the stand without spooking deer, whether it's a hill where you can climb down at dark and walk straight down the hill to a creek or a valley to walk out so you don't disturb this deer in the field. But that's different video. We're talking about trail camera use right now. That's hunting stuff, but I just wanted to touch upon that since I was talking about the ATV use deal, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about people bumping deer off a field with a truck to get out without them seeing you. Like I said, it probably is better with the truck, but still not a good thing. So next, guys, we really should try, especially the early season, or before the season, during late summer or leading up to the season, you should really only check that camera at least once a month. I mean, at most. You should leave it out there, let it soak, let it get plenty of intel, and then don't keep going in every week or more checking this camera just because you want to see what's on there. You just you're impacting that property every single time walking in and out. The only time that I would say to go in more than once a month is right before season or during season, where you really need that MRI and you need to know what the deer are doing right then and there. Then you can check it more frequently. And a good strategy to be able to check those cameras frequently without too much pressure is to put those cameras near your hunting areas or in the travel paths of those hunting areas, so you can only put pressure on that one time while you're already in there hunting, instead of coming in different times to check camera coming out and then hunting a different area later on the same property. So you can walk in and you can check that camera right at your stand, which is a good thing because you get to see what's been in the area recently right as you're hunting, or put it in the path where you're walking in so you can just stop, check the camera, and continue on to your tree stand or on the way out. There's actually been some really good technology in these trail cameras that have come out within the last 4 or 5 years that really enable you to get that MRI and be able to get the pleasure of seeing these videos or pictures of the deer in real time, not having to go in all the time checking your cameras. And it really helps with the pressure, and it helps with you see that MRI and you know what's where, and you can act upon that quickly. And what I'm talking about is, I'm sure you guys heard about it, it's the cellular cameras. So you put those in the woods. It has to be somewhere where you have reception and whatnot, but put it in the woods, it's linked to your phone, and as that thing takes videos or pictures, it sends them straight to your phone. So you really get to see what the deer are doing right then and there, or very recently, so you can really judge your hunting accordingly. And that really helps with not putting pressure on the property by not having to go in and actually physically check them until your camera needs a new SD card or batteries. Now, not everybody can afford those. Those are definitely pretty pricey cameras. They're coming down in price a little bit in recent years, but they're still relatively pricey. And you might be hunting in an area where you just don't have reception and you can't use them. But if you can, it's definitely a very good route to go to really avoid putting pressure on your lands and be able to see that MRI in real time. Also, another good technique when checking your trail camera to keep low pressure is check them midday, anywhere from that 11 to 2 period. The deer at their lowest point of activity during that time, they're usually bedded down. So you sneak in right then and there, check them, and get out before they start moving again. And also a big thing to really think about when you're going to check these cameras is, obviously make sure the deer are not going to be in the area when you're checking them, but also you need to keep the wind direction in mind. A lot of people only think about wind direction when you're hunting, but you really need to think about when you're checking trail cameras too, because if you walk by a bedding area and you blow your wind right in that bedding area, especially if you're in a really pressured area, there's a good chance you're going to be blowing deer out as you're walking just to check the camera. And guys, I'm sure you've heard people say to use gloves when hanging or checking a trail camera to keep your scent off the camera. I think that's a bunch of nonsense, because deer really shouldn't be smelling your camera in the first place. If they're smelling your camera, then they're knowing your camera's there, and they should not know your camera's there. So gloves really don't make any sense. There's no need for them. If you have them on, if you're out hunting and you have them on already, it's not a bad thing to have them on, but I wouldn't make sure to have gloves on it. When you hang on your camera, you need to make sure the deer can't. Some people even go to the points of it. I've even done it myself. Some people really go points of even spraying the camera down with a scent killer, and that's just too far. You need to make sure the camera's out of the side of the deer. Make sure you have that camera high. Like I've talked, I saw stuff that went over in the tip video on hanging cameras. Make sure the camera is out of the line side. Make sure it's up high to where they won't see it. Make sure they're not walking straight at it. And the deer should not see your camera. They should not be smelling your camera. So it really shouldn't matter if you have gloves on or not. And guys, when you're buying a camera, you really need to look at the no glow or the low glow IR. And make sure, especially don't use a actual flash camera, because deer are going to see that flash and it's going to spook deer. Those are pretty outdated now. I'm not even sure if you can get those anymore, but you want to make sure it's the low IR or the low glow, infrared low glow, or the no glow. You don't want just a regular infrared camera or a flash camera, because they will see that light, especially at night, and they'll know that they'll pinpoint your camera and they'll know the camera's there. Also, another thing to think about is how loud the camera is when it activates. Some have a loud shutter and you can actually physically hear them. Well, if you can hear them, I guarantee that deer can most likely hear that camera, and they'll pinpoint exactly where that sound came from. And if they see a light coming from, they're going to know something's there. They're going to realize something's weird. So just make sure you're getting a good camera that has either the no glow or the low glow infrared, to make sure that deer can't pinpoint your camera. Even if you have it off in a good spot, up high in the tree, on a bigger tree, bigger tree than the camera, so there's no side profile and whatnot. And even if you make sure you do all that good, if you have a camera that puts off a flash or whatnot, or any kind of emits any kind of light, then they're still probably going to or if it's loud, they're still going to pinpoint your camera. They're still going to know something's there, something's weird. All right, guys. So my last tip today on trail camera use is going to be put the camera on either what would be a food plot or a watering hole or a mock scrape, even something that's really going to hold that deer's attention for a little bit, and allow them to stay there. First off, it's going to draw them in. You're going to get more videos because it's actually drawing the deer to your camera. instead of just having a camera on a travel path. But it'll also help hold the deer there so you can get a better picture or video instead of the deer just walking right by your camera. The other thing is, if you have some food plot there or a water hole, rock scrape, or whatever it be, that's really going to help hold the deer's attention on whatever, either of those three, instead of, looking around, noticing your camera. It's really going to help them not notice your camera. So guys, all in all, trail camera is a really useful tool to use. If you use it correctly, you can really get a lot of good intel without you having to be there. It can really help you be successful in the woods. You just really have to make sure that the deer aren't noticing your camera and you're not spooking the deer trying to come in to check your camera all the time. You gotta make sure you gotta treat it just like if you're going into hunting to be checking the camera. You gotta make sure your wind's not blowing to the deer. You gotta make sure you're not spooking deer. You gotta treat it the exact same. You're not actually going there hunt, but you have to treat it the exact same like you were going to hunt, so you're not bumping deer checking your camera, because you're doing deer don't care if you're actually out there to shoot them or if you're just out there checking your trail camera. If they see you, they're going to be spooked, and the more times you spook a deer, the more pressure you put on your land, the more you're going to push the deer away. So guys, I hope you liked that video. I hope it helps you guys out using your trail cameras in the woods, whether you're just starting out with trail cameras, and maybe you've been running trail cameras for a while, and hopefully you guys picked up something on this video that helps you guys out. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button. Make sure to subscribe so you can see more tips video coming out. Our season opens up tomorrow, so here pretty soon should be some hunting videos coming your guys' way. Hopefully we can put some big bucks on the ground for you. I hope you guys have success this fall. I hope you guys put that big buck on the ground you're chasing. Get out there and keep chasing the big ones.